What is going on, everybody? Jay here from Maji, and Jay, today in this video we're going to be unboxing and also reviewing a very cool drone that I got from the website gearbest.com, and this one is called the Hubsan H501S. Now this one is a little bit more expensive than the regular model. That's because we got the advanced model, which basically comes with a different transmitter, but the drone is exactly the same. And as you guys can tell, I got the white and gold. I did wanted to get the black and gold, but unfortunately it wasn't available for this particular model, so I decided to go with this color. This one has a whole bunch of features, including follow me feature. It has return to home feature, position hold mode, also has altitude hold mode, headless mode, and much more. So as we can tell here from the upper right hand side corner of the box, it is recommended for ages 14 plus, so this is not considered a toy. As a matter of fact, it's a very dangerous drone as it does have brushless motors, so they're spinning at a very fast speed, so you guys must be careful to whom you give this to, because they can get hurt very easily, especially if they don't have experience flying drones. On the other side of the box here, we can see the transmitter again is very different from the one that you guys have probably seen on YouTube as of right now. That's because this model came out about 2 months ago, so I am not the first to get it, but this is the finished product. At first they were just releasing the prototype of it, and now they just released the official model with the latest firmware and stuff. So far I haven't seen any glitches, even though it does have some cons to it, but I'll be explaining it later on in the video. For right now, let's go ahead and check what's inside the box. So let's start by removing these two little tabs on the top. It's a very simplistic box, and it's actually not that big, to be honest with you guys, so don't worry about the shipping. It shouldn't be that much. And this one in particular came with the basic shipping, and it took about 10 days to arrive, but you can also choose DHL, and it takes about 6 days to the US to arrive. So again, it is not that much time for the waiting. And here comes the drone. Okay, so the first thing you find inside of the box here is the manuals, and this is a disclaimer basically telling you not to do anything stupid with the drone. Charge the battery as you're supposed to, make sure that you install the props as you're supposed to and such, and you should be okay. The next booklet we got here is the specific instruction manuals, which basically tells you how to fly it, where to fly it, what to do and not to do. Again, if you guys don't have experience, you should read this. On the back side, we find all the parts. Unfortunately, GearBest does not sell all of them. They only have the props and also the remote controller, which is quite expensive if you're going to buy it. But pretty soon, all the parts should be available on their website. If you can find them, just search them on Google, and you should be able to find them very easily. So let's go ahead and set this aside, and now check out what comes here in this little divider. Okay, so removing this cover, the first thing we're going to find inside is the drone itself. It's very small. I would say that this thing is about 12 inches from one motor to the other motor. And here we can see it. It's very nice and heavy, to be honest, and the build quality feels amazing. And it has a baby skin feel on the plastic, so it feels very nice and comfortable when you're holding it. I know that's not a feature actually, but just to let you guys know how it feels physically. And on the bottom side here, we can see it comes with a SD card. Now this was not included. I had to get my own, even though it was supposed to be included. But yes, I used my own, and it's working fabulous. And on the bottom here, we got some LED lights as well. We're going to see the colors later on. It doesn't have landing gears. The landing gears are going to be here at the bottom side of the motor, which comes with a little rubber piece right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. But yeah, this thing can wear, you know, in the future, so you might need to replace them. On the top here, we got the brushless motor. We have the B side and also the A side. All the props will be marked accordingly. And on the back here, we have a compartment where the battery is located. And let me go ahead and show you here the battery quickly. This one is a 2700 milliamp battery, 7.4 volts, 10C. And here we can see the entire information of the battery. Now the cool part about this battery is that it's very inexpensive, and you can find it at any hobby store. And also with this particular drone, it gives it about 20 minutes of flying time, so this is absolutely insane. I've never seen a drone that lasts so much with such a small battery. So again, very cool for the battery here. Next, we find all the props. It comes with the A side and also the B side, as I explained before. Some foam for protection. Now this little tool is very important that you guys keep it around. This is so that you can hook up your props and hold the motors in place. Let me go ahead and show you here exactly how it's done. So basically you grab this tool, you go to your motor here, and you hold it likewise. I'm not sure if you guys can see that right there, but it's very simple, and it's very useful because it's hard to hold the motor and install the prop. It's almost impossible to do, so this was very smart by Hubsan. Next we got here the charger. Now the other day I went to Kissimmee myself. I was visiting my mom, and I took this drone just to test it over there. and I forgot the piece where the battery goes connected. As a matter of fact, it's on its way here from Kissimmee, Florida. It should take about a day or so, but I couldn't wait to complete the video. But this is only one part of the charger. The other part is coming very shortly. So it's that little square box that gives you the connection for the battery. It's basically the most important part of the charger. And then inside here we also have an adapter, because as you guys can tell here, I got the European plug, so the adapter was included for free as well. And then finally we have here one of the coolest parts, which is the transmitter. This is the USB cable in case you need to do some software updates to the drone. I'll be explaining to you exactly where to connect it in just a moment. And here is that antenna that I was talking about before. This is for the FPV transmission. It's super important that you guys install it on the transmitter, otherwise your signal is not going to be that great. And basically you do just put it on top and voila, you're all set. Now this transmitter does require 8AA batteries, which is a little bit of a cons, but if you guys want, it's also capable of handling a rechargeable battery on the back side. I'll be showing you that here in just a moment. So for right now, let me just go ahead and install the props and get everything ready here for you guys so I can give you a better demo on how this thing works. Let's get started. To get started here with the transmitter, it's very easy. Just go ahead and remove the back screw. It's a Phillips screw. After doing so, inside here you're going to find a little holder for the battery. This thing actually comes off completely. It's very easy to do, but just be careful. In my case, I'm using the same screwdriver that I used to remove the screw. And this is what I was mentioning before, that you can connect your own battery on the inner side of the remote control. And it does require 8 AA batteries, as you guys can tell right here. There's 4 here and 4 on the other side. Now in my case here, I use cheap batteries for some time because I didn't have the complete 8. But now I just bought some. Let me go ahead and show them to you guys. I always recommend high quality batteries. So these are it. Let me just go ahead and replace this one on the side. After the batteries are installed, your next step will be to test the remote controller, make sure that everything's working properly. Just go ahead and flick the switch here on the bottom side, and your display should come on as well. And if everything is okay, now you can go ahead and connect the battery on your drone. Here we go. Getting a closer look here at the drone, on the front side we can find here the 1080p camera that I was talking about before. This is a 5 megapixel sensor. We do have the brushless motors already with the props, as I mentioned before. On the top side, on the inner side, we have the GPS antenna. On the bottom side here, as I explained before, we have the SD card slot, so there's not much going on this particular drone. If you look on the inner side of the drone here, by the little corner, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, there is a little USB port on there for update purposes, and that's all we find here around this drone. So as you guys can tell, it's very easy to operate. And to install the battery, just make sure that the connections are facing outside. You push it in, connect these two, and then you should be all set to go. And then quickly after you connect it, the camera should show here on the display of your transmitter. Let me go ahead and show you that here right now. So this is how everything looks. Alright, and this is the front-facing camera right now recording. And as you guys can tell, it's a very nice high quality. And this is how pretty much it remains even when you're flying. Except for those times that you go, I would say over 400 meters, it starts to flicker a little bit, but it's not that critical, I would say. So again, everything's working fine. So now I'm going to give you here the details of the transmitter. The controllers on this transmitter are very basic, just like any other transmitter out there. The first thing we find on the upper left hand side corner is the antenna for the 2.4 gigahertz transmission. On the right hand side we got the antenna for the 5.8 gigahertz transmission. This is for your FPV. If you look here at these switches, the very one on the left, the one that says A, this is for headless mode. The next one is for altitude hold mode and also GPS hold mode, and right now I have it on GPS hold mode just because it is better for beginners. Then the next switch we got here is for the return to home feature. If you flick this all the way up, it'll come back to its original position. The next one we got here is for the follow me feature, and it's actually working quite great. I did tested it and we're going to be seeing that in just a moment. Now these two little wheels here is only for certain drones by Hubsan that carry the gimbal. This one in particular doesn't have the gimbal, so this is not going to work. Then on the middle side we find some buttons as well. Now these only work for certain features, like if you press the exit button, this is for photo, and if you press the enter button, this is for recording. Okay, now make sure that your SD card is installed. Then you got your regular trims, and then your lever to go up and down, and also the other lever to go forward, backwards, and from side to side. So as you guys can tell, it's super simplistic. Even though it looks complicated, this thing is super easy to use. Now here on the screen, we can notice that it's asking me for a compass calibration. This is something that I didn't like about this particular drone, because it's going to ask it every single time that you insert the battery. And I was trying to search online if there was a software update so that this doesn't happen all the time, and unfortunately there's not. But to calibrate is actually quite simple. First of all, you must go outside. In this case, I'm inside of my room, so this is not a proper way of calibrating it. You must do it where you're going to take off. So for right now, I'm just going to do a quick demo here. As you guys can tell, it says compass 1, but if I start moving it, rotating it clockwise, you're going to notice the lights are going to change. You have to do it for about 3 times. Okay, and then it's going to change to compass calibration number 2. I'm not sure if you guys can see that right there. It says number 2. Now this, you have to do it a little bit differently. So let me go ahead and set this here on the table. And basically what you do is nose facing down. You're going to move it again, same rotation, which is clockwise, until the green lights turn into a different color. There we go. And you're going to hear beep on your transmitter. That means that everything is set to go, and now it's trying to acquire a GPS signal, but unfortunately we are inside of the house, and even inside of the house it did get some GPS signal already, so that's really cool. And then to activate the motors, all you do is move these 2 throttles to the middle position towards the screen, towards the bottom side, likewise, and now the motors are activated. To deactivate them, all you have to do, just move them to the other side, to the opposite side, towards the bottom side. Make sure that you always do it towards the bottom side, otherwise it's going to take off and you may cause an accident. And then the motors are going to lock. That's pretty much all you have to do with this particular drone. So now with this being said, guys, I'm not going to bore you talking more about the drone. Let's go ahead and jump into the action, take this thing to the air and see how it performs. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, YouTubers, so there we have it for the testing of the Hubsan H501S advanced model, and let me tell you that I don't regret this drone a bit. I did have to purchase this particular one from the website GearBest, but I don't regret it because of the fact that this thing has a lot of amazing features, including the follow me feature, the headless mode, the return to home mode, and all those features are very valuable in a drone, especially if you are beginning. But at the same time, you don't want to spend thousands of dollars in a very expensive drone, then this is the way to go. Also, the battery is absolutely spectacular. I've never seen a drone that is actually truthful about the battery lifetime. It lasts exactly 19 minutes and some seconds before running out of battery to a very risky voltage. So for that reason, I decided to land it after 19 minutes or so. But yes, it does last the complete 20 minutes that they are promising. As a matter of fact, a lot of people out there are claiming that they're getting up to 25 minutes. So this is absolutely insane, and it is only with one battery. So yes, the battery side, I don't have any complaints whatsoever. Now, my other two cons that I'm going to mention is the fact that the camera doesn't have optical image stabilization, so the pictures do look a little bit, I would say, jumpy, like a jello effect to it. So that's because we don't have any stabilization on the camera itself. And then if you're flying this at nighttime, the lights don't remain on, so that makes it a little bit harder for you to know where the front side is, and sometimes you have to set it up on headless mode just to be careful. So other than those three little cons that I just mentioned, which is again the compass, the camera, and also the lights on the bottom, this thing is absolutely amazing. And trust me guys, take my word for it, you're not going to waste your money on this particular drone, and it's perfect for any user, even kids. Now you must have adult supervision if you're giving this to a kid, but yes, it is so easy to fly and so comfortable, and it feels so safe that I would recommend it for any age out there with a lot of precaution. So with this being said, if you guys have any questions, please don't forget to leave your comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you find it helpful. Stay tuned for more. I got the iPhone 7, and it is not the Plus model, but I also got the replica non-Plus model, and it comes with a fingerprint scanner, so that's coming very soon to my channel. So again guys, please don't forget to comment on the section below if you have any questions. Like my video, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next one.